Welcome to this little info session about the upcoming Pranassage certification. And I'll start by just explaining the details of the certification that I see, and then you can ask any questions that you might have. Sound good? Yeah? Okay. So, just to back up a little bit, through my school, the Nosara Yoga Institute, my teacher, Amba Stapleton, she designed this training in this modality called Pranassage that they taught down in Nosara for 20 years. And they would teach it as a 100-hour module. That was 2 weeks. So in 2013, I went down to do my 2-week, 100-hour certification of Pranassage. So for the past 13 years, I've been weaving Pranassage into my yoga classes and my private classes with students, my breathwork sessions, and then as a therapist in those settings too, feeling really comfortable using therapeutic touch with clients and patients, and as a journey facilitator, also feeling very confident in using therapeutic touch when called for and when needed. And so I've been using it for many, many years. And a lot of folks over the years have asked me, particularly yoga teachers or yoga students, like, how did I learn to give those types of assists in classes? And it's basically all through pranasage. It stems from, there's about 35 core postures in a pranasage sequence. And pranasage, as Amba designed it, is kind of like a yoga Thai massage session where a client or a student is lying on the ground, fully clothed, comfortable clothing, and then the practitioner is moving their body into basically assisted yoga poses while the receiver is in like a shavasana receptive meditative state. And it's designed to facilitate and awaken prana, prana being the intelligent life force behind all matter. So it's an experience for the receiver of their own prana and um, a release of blocked prana, a rebalancing of prana. And the practitioner doesn't come at it from a mindset of like, I'm a healer or I'm moving your energy or I'm fixing you. It's more like I'm going to manipulate your body and work with your breath and move you into these different poses with your breath so that your own prana can do what your own prana is going to do. So the practitioner is just kind of an in-between. So I've been using, I would take some of those poses from the sequence where I could from start to finish, and I do this sometimes, give someone like a full pranasage session. Rarely, but it'll happen where they're in that setting where they're on the ground and they're passive the whole time and I'm moving them. More often, the way I use it is like with a private yoga client, I'm teaching a class and then I'll weave in that they're passive and I'm moving their body into these poses. Or the way I assist is pranasage assists that I'll come in and give particular hands-on assists and then move out and then they go into a pose and I come in and give these hands-on assists. And that's what I do in the yoga classes also, particularly yin or restorative or gentle yoga where there's more time, where the students are in a pose and I can go in and give the assists. And then with my therapeutic clients, again, it's like for myself as a therapist and facilitator, just this like grounded, embodied confidence in myself that I, one, know trauma-informed spaces and can kind of read people's bodies where the prana is open or stuck and the technique or the movement or the particular touch that might facilitate them having a release. And that I have really clear boundaries for myself as a practitioner with the students or the clients so that they feel safe. So I know for a lot of therapists or practitioners, it's kind of like a gray area where they feel like I could easily do that wrong and then I might be in trouble or I might re-traumatize or it might come back for some reason. So they tend to err towards less touch for a lot of teachers and practitioners because they don't have that confidence in their own ability. Where for a lot of folks, receiving touch is the thing that could be the most healing or offer the most opening or offer the most awakening, irregardless of additionally what it's doing to their prana. So, just recently this last year, thinking my school and AMBA, they're not teaching this modality anymore. And other teachers that were trained in this, they're not teaching how to lead pranasage. So, there's a bit of a hole in people learning this technique. So, just got inspired of like, okay, I could figure this out. And I've been doing it long enough. And AMBA is willing and wanting to be a part of the training too. And she gives her full blessing, like, go and teach it. And she's going to come in on Zoom and give some guest lecturing during the modules. But instead of doing 2 weeks straight, breaking it up into level one and level two, so 50 hours essentially each, where level one is February 19th through the 22nd. It's Thursday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So all day we'd be in training those days. And then level two is April 23rd through 26th. The other 50 hours, same kind of thing, Thursday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And in between, we would also have 12 practice clients that the um, students would be working with over the time, and then some calls where each month, February through April, we'd have an online Zoom hour-long call with a group of students and myself, and then reading the manual. So there's a 140-page Pranassage manual that everyone will get to. That's from the Nosara Yoga Institute that has all of the postures and the theory and about breath and about prana. So this would be a part of it too, and reading the um, training manual. And then the cost is 1,500 per module. And for students, I have scholarships available. You could do a 12-month interest-free payment plan. And I want to make it accessible for folks financially to be able to do it. And what else might I be missing? Yeah, I think those are the main highlights. What questions do you have?
Hearing that, I'm like even more excited for the training. And I have many questions as always. The first one that comes to mind though is you had mentioned that you come from with a background of trauma-informed facilitation, teaching, and that you can kind of notice where there might be blockage and be able to follow that knowing to where you're going to go with the pranasage. And I'm just curious if you're going to be weaving a little bit of that part into the certification training of like how to make those observations.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, I will. And it comes from doing it and your own intuition over time. And so I've
Nice.
got like it's like my own ability to read and see, and then my own intuitive knowing of like here or not there or like this. And so you'll be learning about doing that, and then it'll come through doing it.
Nice. And so will we be able to, I'm assuming we'll have time to practice like on each other, like physically when we're
Most
together
of the
and
training is practicing doing the postures. So most of the training, all of those days are going to be me demonstrating how to do like a little sequence with somebody, and then in partners working where you go back and forth, giving the practice and then receiving the practice. So in the training, it's just giving it, receiving it, giving it, receiving it, giving it, receiving it, giving it, receiving it. And then in between, we'll do like half the sequence in level one and level two. So level one, you'll get half of the sequence, the 35 postures. And then in between, as the student, you're going to practice that. You'll find folks that you'll convince to give like an hour bodywork session to basically so that you can practice. And then we'll get together in those group calls to talk about that, like what's coming up, what's challenging, what's hard. And people have asked, are you going to do this training on Zoom? And the answer is no, because we really need to be in person so I can help guide you through what's the proper amount of pressure, what's the right kind of touch. And you can only feel that. You can only learn it through doing it.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also lots of questions. Another one that I've been curious about I did my 300-hour yoga teacher training with you, of course.
Mhm.
And actually, this is why I'm really excited about this certification because we did a short module,
Yeah, we did
a sneak
hands-on
peek.
yoga.
Yeah. And it was was someone who I teach yoga, um, and I've been very apprehensive about hands-on assists, but I love receiving them. And so even just that little sneak peek has given me so much more confidence to like work in my public yoga classes and then with like one-on-one clients to like do those assists. And I've gotten really great feedback. And so I want to like go even further with it, of course.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm just curious. I'm just trying to remember what my question was. I
Okay.
went off onto a tangent. What was
Like what
it?
kind of assists will we learn or what kind of postures?
Yeah, and I guess just like the whole like you've mentioned the sequence and everything, like I'm assuming we can like take pieces of a sequence and
Totally.
like I don't know, like how
Totally.
to work with that.
I do that all of the time. I'll pull out like a little combination of postures and I'll either teach that in my yoga classes or I'll do it with my private clients all of the time. All of the time I'm using little bits of it. And over the years that I've been doing it, now I'm just making things up too. Now it is I live in that more intuitive space where it's like it just seems like something needs to happen right here. Like I just did that a couple weeks ago with my private client, and it was a type of a twist I was moving him into while he was lying down. And the angle and the way that I was doing it, I had never done before. And he was just like, oh my God, that's exactly the spot. And I was like, yeah, I've never moved your body in this way before. I've never moved anybody's body in this way before, but it just seemed like it was right here. And then what I know as a practitioner is also my proper body mechanics,
Hmm.
my own ergonomics of like how I can use my body where it's not just like I'm expending strength, but I'm using gravity, my own gravity and my own alignment to move people's bodies into really deep positions where I'm not exhausting myself. And people might say that sometimes too, like, you're so strong, or how are you doing this? But I know my own alignment. So it's not actually hard when I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that was actually another question I had. Like I'm assuming you'll go through like how to like safely for our own bodies, like make sure we're
Totally.
not injuring ourselves when we
As
do.
I'm leading each part, it's like, and this is how you hold your body while you're doing this. Your body's like this, their body's like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I also work, I'm going to graduate in February with my somatic experiencing practitioner certification. So I work with people in somatic experiencing, which is like body-based therapy. I know, I mean, you're an SEP, you know this. Um, but we're getting into in that training more about working with people within an SE session, an SE therapy session, like using more hands-on. And I'm just curious. I didn't really think about this until we started this like conversation of like, could you utilize Pranassage within like sort of an SE therapy
You
session or
could, you could, if you had both trainings. In
yeah.
SE, somatic experiencing, what they teach when they teach touch, which is like their last advanced module, their touch is very passive. Their touch
Mm,
is like sliding their hands under somebody's shoulders or under somebody's low back and having their hands with somebody's body, but not moving or manipulating.
yeah.
A little bit, but it's more like
Nice.
what can the practitioner or the therapist sense that's happening with the other person's body, the client's body, through having their hands on that person's body.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But if you had both, your lens then is just way more equipped, and you have your own background as being a yoga teacher to how the body mechanics could happen or how the body might move, or even like working with somebody in a therapeutic setting, you'd give them homework perhaps. Like you might sense, oh, I see that your shoulders are really locked or your hips are really locked or you never really breathe deeply or whatever it might be. So then you can give to them um, postures to use. Or you could say, would you be comfortable with me helping your body like, right here or right here, or let's try this. So you as a therapist could weave in and out of that space if you
Yeah.
wanted.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Huh. And so obviously like my background is in like yoga, SE, I facilitate breath work, and I'm curious if someone doesn't have any of these certifications, but they're still drawn to the Pranassage certification. I'm
You could
assuming they
still
could
do
get
it.
certified and just offer it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could. You don't have to be already a 200-hour YTT or a 500-hour YTT. Yeah, YTT is yoga teacher training. You don't have to be yoga certified in any way or certified in anything prior to this. This could be a standalone. I'm curious about somatic therapies. I'm curious about prana, or I just want to learn about my own body and my own prana and my own practice. It could be fully personal. People might not take this out into the world in any way or offer it. Though, even in like my own personal life, like my family loves it when I massage them or things like that. So you could just do it in that way. So no, you don't need any other prior certification in any way.
Cool.
And you could add it into so many things that you're already doing.
Hmm. Yeah, that's actually, well, you mentioned your family. That's one thing when we did our little dabble in our 300 hour into the hands-on stuff that we were doing. I remember, is it called the eagle, the baby eagle?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that what it is?
yeah.
I did this. It's a very sweet, you're like basically holding completely someone within your body and kind of just like rocking them. And I was so obsessed with this. I have offered this baby eagle to like my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, like every single person in my family. And like, of course they love it, but it's also I found like a way to just like deepen connection, you know,
Totally.
which is so beautiful.
Absolutely. It's such a
Yeah.
sweet, intimate posture. It really is so lovely. And the receiver, they're in this, it's like going back to the womb, is what I always hear for the person that's receiving it. And then the practitioner, you would think like holding and cradling somebody's body would be difficult to do. But again, because of the proper ergonomics, it actually isn't that hard to lift somebody off the ground and hold them in your arms like that and rock them for quite a while. I actually just did that a week ago with a client that it was like a almost it moved into a rebirthing experience for them therapeutically that had like all these other pieces open up for them. It was really,
Mm,
really, really powerful.
that's so special. I love it.
And when I was just leading my Esalen retreat, part of it is I always lead a yoga class Saturday morning as a preparation for the journey that night. And because I've got Pranassage on my brain, I was like, I'm going to lead everybody in leading Pranassage together. So I actually led a whole group class with 50 people where everybody divided up into partners. And in that retreat, a lot of people come together. So there's already some natural partners of like husband, wife, or sisters, or friends, or brothers. So everybody partnered up, and I led the whole class simultaneously through giving and receiving Pranassage, which for them was so transformative in just the receiving of the touch. Being touched and giving touch isn't something that it's just not common anymore. We're so in our individualized space, so the what it can open up for people, even just having them do it, like you're not even doing it to them, is really beautiful.
Yeah, so special.
It was so fun. It was so fun and so different for them too, because they were like, "Oh, we thought we were going to do yoga." And they did do yoga, but they did yoga with each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, trying to think. I feel like you've answered most of my questions at this point.
Okay.
I'll, I'm usually like never drive questions, but you've it's just been so thorough. Like I'm just
Yeah,
really
good.
excited for
Good.
the
I'm
training.
so excited too.
So
I'm really,
pumped.
really excited. And it'll be a small group because the space is fairly small. So, there'll probably be like between 5 to 8 of us in the training, which will be nice, I think, to get intimately involved with each other too, where it's not just, you're not lost in the numbers. It can be really personal also. And It's gonna be great. I'm just really, really, really looking forward to it. And I'm so grateful Amba's gonna pop in and talk with us too about the training, and we'll get to learn from her and her wisdom. And yeah, then we'll see. This might be the only time that I offer it. Sometimes people ask me that, like, are you gonna offer this again? And I currently don't have any plans to offer it again. So we'll see. So if you want to take the training, this would be the time to do it. And for folks that are out of town, I packed it together Thursday to Sunday so that people could come from out of town
Mm,
if they wanted and get to Boise on Wednesday, and then they could leave Boise Sunday night or Monday. But you'd get a hotel, you'd stay in town, you'd stay with somebody, and we just be together all those 4 days. Yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Well, thank you for answering all my questions. I'm
Yeah.
so stoked for the certification and the training.
Yes. Yes. And reach out if you've got anything else that comes to mind. Thanks,
Thank
Darcy.
you.